You told yourself it's over. You forced yourself to stay silent, to stop checking, to stop caring. You tried, but somehow they never really left your heart. Not completely, because in the quiet moments, when everything slows down, they come back. And what hurts the most is not just missing them, it's the feeling that something is still unfinished, like a story that was never properly closed. And that's what confuses you, because you keep asking yourself, if they weren't meant for me, then why can't I let them go? Why does it still feel this deep, this real? Pause, because this is where most people misunderstand their own heart. This feeling, this attachment, this pain that won't fully disappear, it's not random. It's not weakness. It's not you being unable to move on. It's something deeper, because sometimes when your heart refuses to let go, it's not because you're stuck. It's because Allah is not done yet. And once you understand what He is doing, the pain, the confusion, the waiting will start to make sense in a way you never expected. Your heart is holding on because there's a hidden truth you haven't seen yet. You keep telling yourself it should be over by now. You've replayed everything again and again in your mind. Every word, every moment, every small detail. You've tried to create distance. You've stayed silent when you wanted to speak. You've forced yourself to act like it doesn't matter anymore. But deep inside, it still matters. Your heart still goes back there, without asking you, without permission. And that's what confuses you the most. Because you start asking yourself, if this wasn't meant for me, why does it still feel so real? Why can't I just let it go like everything else? Pause here. Just for a moment, take a breath and ask yourself something deeper. What if this feeling is not here to trap you, but to show you something? What if this attachment is not just about that person, but about something inside you that is slowly being revealed? Because not every connection comes into your life randomly. Some people enter your life at the exact moment your heart is ready to feel something new, something deeper than before. They awaken parts of you, feelings you didn't know you could feel, thoughts you never had before, a softness, a vulnerability that you were never forced to face. And now, you can't ignore it anymore. This is why your heart is holding on. Not because you are weak, not because you are stuck, but because something inside you is still trying to understand. There is a truth hidden in this experience, maybe about what you truly want, maybe about what you deserve, maybe about how deeply you are capable of loving. And until that truth becomes clear, your heart will keep returning to it again and again, not to hurt you, but to make sure you don't walk away without learning what Allah placed in this connection for you. This pain is not breaking you. It is quietly rebuilding who you are becoming. This pain you feel, it's not light. It doesn't just pass for a moment and disappear. It stays. It lingers. It follows you into your quietest hours. There are moments when you're distracted, smiling, talking to others, but deep inside, there's still something heavy sitting in your chest. And when you're finally alone, it comes back, stronger. You feel it in your thoughts, in the silence, in the memories that return without warning. And sometimes, you just sit there and ask yourself, why is this hurting me this much? Why can't I just be normal again? It feels like something inside you is breaking. But listen carefully. What you feel is breaking is actually something being rebuilt. Because this kind of pain, it changes you. It slows you down. It forces you to feel things you used to ignore. It makes you more aware of your own heart, your own emotions, your own depth. Before this, maybe you didn't think this deeply. Maybe you didn't feel this strongly. Maybe your heart was protected, closed in ways you didn't even realize. But now, everything feels more real. You notice more. You reflect more. You understand emotions in a way you never did before. And yes, it hurts. But this is how your heart is being reshaped. Allah does not send this level of pain just to leave you broken. He sends it to remove something from you. and replace it with something stronger, something purer. This pain is teaching you patience. It's teaching you sincerity. It's teaching you how deeply you can care, even when you feel empty. Something inside you is growing, even when you feel lost. Something inside you is becoming clearer. You are not the same person you were before this, and you won't be the same after it either, because this pain is not here to end you. It is here to rebuild you into someone who understands love, who understands loss, and who understands reliance on Allah in a way you never did before. So don't rush to escape it completely. Sit with it, slowly, and trust this. Even in the middle of this heaviness, Allah is shaping you into someone stronger, deeper, and closer to Him than you have ever been. Your confusion is not weakness. It means something deeper is still unfolding. Some days, you feel ready to let go. You tell yourself, this is it. I'm done. I need to move forward. And for a moment, it feels real. But then, something shifts. A memory comes back. A feeling returns. A small reminder pulls your heart right back. And suddenly, you're not sure anymore. You start questioning everything. Why am I like this? Why can't I stay strong? Why do I keep going back and forth? It feels like you're losing control of your own heart, like you're stuck between two directions. And no matter what you choose, something inside you feels unsettled. But listen carefully. This confusion you're feeling, it is not weakness. It's not failure. It's not you being broken. It's a sign that something deeper is still unfolding inside you. Because when something is truly over, your heart becomes quiet. Not instantly, but eventually. There is a sense of calm, a clear feeling of closure. But when something is still being written, your heart doesn't settle that easily. It moves, it shifts, it questions, it returns, because it hasn't reached its final understanding yet. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think confusion means they're doing something wrong. So they rush, they force decisions, they push themselves to feel something they're not ready to feel. But real clarity does not come from forcing yourself to move on. It comes when Allah reveals what your heart needs to understand. And until that moment comes, you will feel this back and forth inside you, not to torture you, but to guide you, to make you reflect, to make you look deeper, to make you question things you never questioned before. This confusion is slowing you down, so you don't make decisions from emotion alone, but from truth, from understanding, from growth. And slowly, without you even realizing it, things will begin to make sense. The emotions will settle, the questions will find their answers, and your heart will reach a place where it no longer feels pulled in two directions. So don't hate this confusion. Don't see it as something wrong with you, because right now, you are not lost. You are in the middle of something that Allah has not finished showing you yet. Some connections don't stay forever, but they change you forever. There is a truth your heart keeps resisting, because it's not easy to accept. You felt something real, not something small, not something shallow, but something that reached deep inside you, something that changed the way you think, the way you feel, the way you see people. And because it felt that real, a part of you believed it was meant to stay forever. But life doesn't always follow the way we feel. And that's where the pain begins. Because now you're left with something that felt so strong, yet didn't stay the way you expected. And your heart keeps asking, if it wasn't meant to last, then why did it feel so powerful? Pause. Because this is where the deeper understanding begins. Not every connection is sent to stay in your life, but that does not make it meaningless. Some connections are sent to wake your heart up, to show you a version of yourself you had never seen before. Maybe before this, you didn't know you could care this deeply. You didn't know you could feel this attached. You didn't know your heart could open this much. But now you know. And that knowledge, that awareness, it stays with you. Even if the person doesn't, that connection shifted something inside you. It made you more aware of love, more aware of your own emotions, more aware of what truly matters to your heart. And that change is not small. It is part of your growth. It is part of your journey. Allah sometimes places people in your life, not to be your forever, but to prepare you for your forever, to teach you lessons you could not learn any other way, to open your heart in a way that will one day make sense when you look back and realize that even what didn't stay was never a waste. So don't measure this connection only by how it ended. Look at how it changed you. Look at how it made you feel, how it made you grow, how it made you understand yourself more deeply. Because some people are not written in your life as a destination. They are written as a turning point. And even if they are no longer in your life, the version of you they helped shape will stay with you forever. If it is truly written for you, it will return with clarity, not chaos. Right now, it feels unfinished, like a story that stopped in the middle, without an ending, without an answer. You keep thinking about the what if. What if things were different? What if timing was better? What if you tried a little harder? And your heart keeps holding on to that small hope that maybe, somehow, it will come back together again. But at the same time, you feel the confusion, the mixed signals, the silence, the uncertainty that never really gives you peace. And that's what hurts the most, because you're not just missing the person, you're stuck inside a feeling that has no clear direction. Pause for a moment and understand this deeply. What is truly written for you will never keep you trapped in endless confusion. It will not leave your heart constantly guessing, constantly doubting, constantly questioning your worth. Because what Allah has written for you comes with a sense of sukoon, a calmness that settles your heart instead of shaking it. If this person is truly meant for you, Allah will bring them back into your life, not in a way that confuses you again, not in a way that keeps hurting you, but in a way that is clear. Clear intentions, clear effort, clear direction. You won't have to overthink every word. You won't have to guess how they feel. Your heart will recognize the difference. Because when something is written for you, it doesn't just return. It returns better, in a form that brings peace instead of chaos. And if it is not written for you, then no matter how much you hold on to it, no matter how much you try to fix it, it will continue to feel unstable, like something that never fully settles. Because what is not written for you can never become your peace. Even if you force it, it will keep breaking in your hands. So instead of exhausting your heart, trying to control the outcome, shift your focus. Trust that if it is meant for you, it will come back in a way that does not hurt your soul. And if it doesn't, then trust that Allah is protecting you from something that was never truly yours. Because real love, the one written for you, will not feel like constant confusion. It will feel like clarity, like ease, like a quiet peace that your heart no longer has to question. Allah is teaching you to release control. And finally, trust Him fully. Right now, you are trying to hold everything together. You are holding on to the memories, holding on to the feeling, holding on to the possibility of maybe it will still work. And deep inside, you are also holding on to control. You want to understand everything. You want clear answers. You want to know what will happen next. You keep thinking, if I do this differently, maybe it will come back. If I wait a little longer, maybe things will change. If I don't let go, maybe I won't lose it completely. And without realizing it, you are carrying a weight your heart was never meant to carry. Because control was never yours to begin with. You were never the one writing this story. Allah is. And sometimes, the reason your heart feels so heavy is not because you love too much, but because you are trying to control something that was always in Allah's hands. This is where the real test begins. Not the test of love, but the test of trust. Can you still trust Allah? Even when you don't understand what He is doing, can you still believe that whatever He chooses for you is better than what you are trying to hold on to? Because real peace does not come from knowing how everything will turn out. Real peace comes when your heart finally accepts that it does not need to know, that it does not need to control, that it only needs to trust. Allah is not asking you to stop feeling. He is not asking you to erase your heart. He is asking you to release your grip on the outcome, to stop trying to force what is not in your control, to place that entire situation, every question, every fear, every hope, back into His hands. And this is not easy, because letting go of control feels like losing something. It feels like you are giving up, like you are walking away from something important. But in reality, you are not losing anything. You are returning it to the one who knows exactly where it belongs. And slowly, when you begin to loosen that tight grip, something inside you starts to change. The pressure begins to fade. The constant overthinking becomes quieter. Your heart starts to breathe again, not because you got all the answers, but because you no longer need them to feel okay. That is what trust feels like. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is a quiet surrender inside your chest, a deep knowing that whatever Allah is writing for you right now, even if it hurts, even if it doesn't make sense, is still leading you exactly where you are meant to be. This emotional storm is preparing you for a love you are not ready for yet. Right now, it feels like everything inside you is unsettled. Your thoughts are heavy. Your emotions are intense. And your heart feels like it's constantly being pulled in different directions. Some days you feel strong, like you're finally understanding things. And then suddenly, without warning, everything comes back again, and you feel like you're starting from the beginning. This back and forth exhausts you. It makes you feel like you're not moving forward, like you're stuck in the same place, feeling the same emotions over and over again. But what you don't realize is that this emotional storm is not here to keep you stuck. It is here to prepare you, because the kind of love your heart is searching for, the kind of connection you truly desire deep inside, is not something simple. It is not something that can exist in a heart that has not been tested, stretched, and refined. Right now, your heart is being expanded. You are learning what it means to care deeply, to feel sincerely, to face emotional pain without running away from it. You are becoming more aware of your own needs, your own limits, your own depth as a person. And all of this is necessary, because if you were given the love you dream about right now without going through this process, you would not be able to hold it properly. You would not understand its value. You would not protect it the way it deserves to be protected. And you might even lose it without realizing why. Allah prepares hearts before He gives them something real. He does not place something meaningful into a heart that is not ready to receive it. So this storm you feel, this emotional weight, this confusion, this intensity, is not punishment. It is preparation. It is shaping you into someone who can recognize real love when it comes. Someone who does not settle for confusion, inconsistency, or emotional instability. It is teaching you the difference between attachment and true connection, between temporary feelings and something that is genuinely written for you. And even though it feels overwhelming right now, even though you wish it would just calm down, there will come a time when you will look back and understand why you had to go through this. Because the person you are becoming through this process is not the same person who first felt this connection. You are deeper now. You are more aware. You are more capable of loving in a way that is real, balanced, and grounded. And when the right love comes into your life, the one that is written for you, you will not meet it with confusion. You will meet it with clarity, stability, and a heart that finally understands what it deserves. So don't rush this process. Don't hate this storm, because even though it feels heavy right now, it is quietly transforming you into someone who is finally ready for something real. What feels delayed to you is being perfected by Allah's timing right now. Right now, it feels like nothing is moving, like you are standing in the same place, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually, while everything around you continues to change. You keep waiting for something to shift, for a clear sign, for a moment that finally gives you closure or direction. But instead, you are met with silence. And that silence makes you restless. It makes you question everything. Why is this taking so long? Why hasn't anything become clear yet? Why do I still feel stuck here? It feels like delay, like something is being held back from you. But what you are seeing as delay is not delay at all. It is precision, because Allah does not rush what is important, and He does not give you something meaningful before it is fully ready for you. Right now, there are things being arranged that you cannot see. There are changes happening within you and beyond you that are necessary before anything can come together the way it is meant to. Maybe your heart is still learning something. Maybe the other person is still on their own journey. Maybe certain pieces are not in place yet. And if everything came together too early, it would not last. It would fall apart, because it was not built on the right foundation. Allah's timing is not based on your emotions. It is based on complete knowledge of what will benefit you, what will protect you, and what will truly bring you peace in the long run. And sometimes, what feels like being held back is actually Allah protecting you from something that is not ready or not right for you yet. Because if you received it too soon, it might have broken you in a way you are not prepared for, or it might have ended in a way that leaves deeper wounds than what you feel now. So instead of seeing this moment as being stuck, I try to see it as being held in place by a timing that is more precise than anything you could plan yourself. Every day that passes, even if nothing looks different on the outside, something is being adjusted, something is being aligned in a way that your eyes cannot fully see yet. And one day, when things finally make sense, when clarity comes, when your heart feels at peace with whatever the outcome is, you will look back at this delay and realize it was never meant to rush. It was meant to be perfected. So don't fight this timing. Don't let your heart panic because things are not happening when you expected them to. Because what Allah is writing for you right now is not late. It is being prepared in the most perfect way for the moment your heart is finally ready to receive it. So now, you understand a little more than you did before. This isn't just about a person. It's not just about memories or emotions or something you couldn't let go of. This was a journey inside your own heart. Every moment of pain, every moment of confusion, every moment you felt like you were losing control, it was shaping you, guiding you, bringing you closer to something deeper than you realized. And maybe, right now, you still don't have all the answers. Maybe your heart still feels attached. Maybe their name still crosses your mind. Maybe a part of you is still waiting for clarity. And that's okay, because not every story is meant to be understood immediately. Some stories are meant to be trusted while they are still unfolding. So instead of asking, "Why can't I let go?" ask yourself, "What is Allah trying to show me through this?" And then, slowly, gently, place it back in His hands. Not because you don't care anymore, but because you trust Him more than your own understanding. If it is written for you, it will come back in a way that brings peace to your heart. And if it is not, Allah will remove it and replace it with something that feels right, something that stays, something that doesn't leave your heart in confusion. Until then, be patient with yourself. Be gentle with your heart. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are in the middle of something that Allah is still writing. And one day, without even realizing when it happened, your heart will become quiet again, not because you forced it, but because it finally understood that everything happened exactly the way it was meant to.